welcome to Opally Hour. We are now on day 4 of our underwater world, and this is the piece we were talking about yesterday, where I had used the sticker on the wrong side of this piece over here. I don't even have it to hand. This piece over here, which was never going to be seen, so I've roughly done it myself. It doesn't look terrible for what you're actually going to end up seeing for it. So, to get on, what we are going to do first, let me get my little bag of tricks here, or a little pot really. What we are going to do first is put this inside the carriage here, like so. So let me get that done. And then we're going to put that piece that we just made, so I'm just going to put a bit of wood glue at the bottom here. I mean, I really do understand why people use super glue. I just don't trust myself so much. So we're just going to pop this in like here, which you can't see whatsoever. Whoops, and that went straight over anyway. Let's try that again. So basically it's like the control panel of the engine, which is why it has all the rose tinted glass. That's what I'm going with anyway. Maybe it's not for sun, maybe it's just because it helps them to see better. And then on top of here will be the piece that we put together. If I can pick it up, should really use tweezers, huh? And then we'll be starting on these little chairs. So this goes, there's a little space just back. Oh, let's get those tweezers. Also somewhere very handy. Hold on. Okay, they were hiding in a corner. That's why. So, let's get a little fella here. And all we're going to do, actually I'm probably better off as I drop them anyway. Taking it from the side here and popping it in along here. It can lean against it if it wants to. I didn't put glue on the back though, but so it kind of goes in there. I think that will look alright. Next we are going to take our little doorway, segregation doorway, and this will be glued down one side and both feet. Then we're going to get on to put the table, single table and chairs on there. Took me forever to find out what one of the pieces was. It was that silly backpack that I made right at the beginning of this video. You know, I'm really impressed with this. Anyway, this goes just the other side of where the wood joins. So try and get it as square as you can. But again, in the scheme of things, if it's not totally square, it's not going to really matter too much. Because I've seen what's coming. You don't see a lot of this. And in fact that backpack, which was so fiddly, you don't really see at all. Alright, so that goes in there. Then we can put our first chair in. This is where our backpack's coming into play, which, like I say, took me forever to work out where. And this is going to basically go on the floor just a little bit in front of this window, and it goes against the window. So all I'm going to do is stick the base here and best down the side. It's got fabric there, so it may not go totally flat, and that's kind of okay too. Maybe a little bit back, might be a little bit too far forward there. Something like that. And again, I'm just using wood glue. If you're more confident than I, which most people are, then you might want to use super glue. I have patience, due to feed the dog anyway. Right, so that goes in there. And then that backpack will go on that seat, but I'm going to give it a moment to dry. Squaring you up. Then we will be putting these two little tables on, and for these I will be using super glue because they've got to stay upright, and I want to make sure they do stay in the same right place. One of them will have that tiny little red drink that we made, the bead, and again this one, if I can get it, probably not going to stick now because it's going to have all my fingers on it, will go just before that window according to the picture. So something like that. Doesn't look very square when I look at it with on the camera. But again, this is the detail you're really not going to see much of. If you didn't watch the video and you saw this model, I don't think you'd probably notice it. We will see when I complete it, and I have like family and things to have a look. We will see if anyone can see these little chairs. Get off me. Okay, and I'm going to give those a moment to dry, and then I'm going to put this one back a bit further actually, because I don't think I'm going to fit that little table in, but not too far back, but far enough. I think what I'm going to do while that's drying and doing its thing, I think for the ones where I know they're going to have something on the table, like the tables, both the tables do, I am going to glue with B7000, this one here, for the bead, and that can go on, and then I will probably attach these little tables to on with super glue, and you can go on there, fella. And I'm going to put that one side to dry. Just put it at the end of my board here. This backpacky thing goes on the first chair, so I'm not going to worry about that for now. This paper you will fold in half, but at kind of an angle, something like that here, and then it will stick to that last table. Obviously you want this going against the, you want one side of it going against the wall, so just make sure that nothing's sticking over there. And again, I'm going to use a bit of B7000, and it wants it to go down the side as well, so good that we're doing it now. Let's do it that the most of the printer side is towards the person who's looking at this wonderful map. Something like so, maybe a little bit more in, and then when that's dry, I'm going to come and fold it down to go down the side of it. Oops, let me actually put a bit of glue in here. The glue wants to pop out anyway. Just having an oozy moment. I'm just going to hold that together for a second so it sticks, and I guess as I'm doing that I'm going to pop this down anyway, so you can see all I'm doing is making this go sideways like so, and that's how they want it. Just make sure you keep one edge clear, which is going to go against the wall. Alright, you stay there. Oop, off. Right, and once we've done that, we will be moving on to doing some ceiling stuff for this, some walls, some lighting. I need to find the yellow light, so I will need to go and find that, because I did test them all, but I have a feeling that why I put this to one side in the first place was because I had used the wrong light colour on the inside of the actual model where the coral is. So I have a feeling that's what I did. So I will gather some more bits together, then we'll come back, we'll pop these three on, and I'm going to do that, like I say, with super glue, and then get on and do some of the rest of it. Alright, I will see you in a little bit. A few seconds for you. Alright, so that should all be ready to go. For the fabricy item, I'm just going to put some B7000 on here. Doesn't look overly square, this one, does it? Like, I don't think I'm going to move it. You're not going to really see it. Like fabric backpack. Well, it doesn't overly look like one, but we will put it on the seat. They've reserved their seat for their next trip. Maybe I should put some little people in here. Should I do that? Maybe I will. Let me get this in place. And maybe I'll go and get some people. Probably have to chop off the legs. I don't have any sitting people, I don't think. And they can be looking out the window. Maybe they should be standing so you can actually see them from the outside world. Anyway, so I'm going to super glue these ones. So I'm going to put a tiny bit of super glue on here. I just use the Loctite Power Gel because I prefer it. And you can be facing your seat. So, like so. Okay, we can get off the tweezers now. And then afterwards I'll go grab some people, and maybe I'll see if I can put people in here. No guarantees, but we will give it a try. And then a little bit of power gel on this one. Like I say, that middle table is definitely not straight, but hey ho. Might still be a bit wet with the B7000, to be honest. Something like that. Can I even get it in there? Me saying about being careful on making sure that it's not on the wall. I never thought about the front seat. Right. Goodness. Can't quite get the right angle. There we go. B7000 still sticky on it. Fortunately, even though it's super glue, it doesn't set quite immediately. Wow, it's been very awkward. Let me have this facing me a second and get this in. That's in. Let me go grab some people, see if we can pop some people in here. Alright, and these just came from Amazon, and then I got given some also for Christmas. So let's see, we got 3 people. We want them to try and look like they're looking out the window, so let's see what we can do. They're not particularly well painted, I will go with that. We can use this guy. He looks like a commuter, right? And let's see if we can find a lady in here too. Got this lady, looks like she doesn't really have a top on. Let's see if we can find a better one. An old man with a walking stick probably won't be a lot of good. A kid maybe. Like I say, they're not very well painted. You see what I mean? But for the purposes of what we're doing, it's not so bad. I don't know that they're going to end up being able to look out the window. And let's see if I can find a better lady than this lady, who looks like she's got no top on. Could do that. This one's sitting. Ew. What do we know? Have that one. Maybe a guy with a pink top with the backpack, do you think? Why would he have that in his hand otherwise? I don't know. That wouldn't make any sense. How about somebody trying to get somebody's attention? Could do that. And one more. Never did get a lady, did we? And then all I'm going to do is chop off the legs, basically, except for that one sitting, and I'm hoping that I can get that one in. This one's got a yellow top and pink trousers. This one looks a bit like she's needs to go to the bathroom. If I can get it right way round. That's what it looks like to me. What do you think? Maybe I just have a weird sense of humour. Oh, there's another sitter. Oh, let's grab him or her. Alright, bear with me. Let me get those chopped off and put in. Okay, so what I did was I put 2 people sitting towards the back of the carriage and 1 person requesting attention. There you go. And then the 2 train drivers. As always, I can never get quite the camera angle for this. But there is 2 in there. Wow. There is 2. There you go. And so yeah, you got 2 sitting. I also went ahead and put a couple of people on some other chairs that we are going to use in the next section. Now that we're not going to need for now. We will be needing this and some of these other parts, including some lights. So let me get organised. Alright, quite straightforward really. You want to put this one in, and this is going to have the tools on, the little one. So a couple of handrails and a ring pull, not sure what the ring pull is for, and also this one, which will go towards the front. Now, allow enough room. You are going to be needing to put your light on here. I have tested this and it does work. It took me a moment to test it. The circuit board isn't the best on this model, let's just put it that way. So I'm gonna just glue, I should probably glue it on here instead. Would glue these on and would glue these, then I would glue the tools, and then I'm going to let that set because we're going to turn this upside down because it's the actual roof of the train carriage. So because I lost it, just have it far enough in that hopefully it doesn't interfere with the little people. I don't think it will. Get it as straight as you can, but again, this is not going to be really something that you see like anything else on this build really. This build more than most of them you can see quite well what's inside things, like most of the other types of book nooks, but this one you're not, especially when you are going to end up with straight at all, is it? Especially when you end up with quite a bit of decoration on the outside windows that we're going to have, which I'm actually dreading putting in this train itself. I think it's going to be a challenge, and I'm actually going to use super glue to do these because they will be upside down. So I'm just going to hold that for, get my tweezers, hold this for a few minutes to do that. So a little way in. Just trying to think of where, trying to think of how this is going on. So it's going to go on like that. So do we really need one inside the carriage? I guess so. So it's going to go inside the train compartment. How can that be? That can't be. No, it's not. I'm talking crap. And then this one as well is in the middle. Not sure what a ring pull is for. Hopefully it's not emergency. If the other ones are handrails to hold on to because the train's so full, and the middle one is the emergency pull. If it was me, gosh, you can see how shaky my hands are. If it was me, I'd be pulling the wrong one. As has happened. Of course it has. And while this is gluing, or setting up, before I put it in, I will weld the light to the back of the train door. I'm going to put this in a little bit more actually, just to make sure it clears that ceiling. Well, it doesn't look very even, does it? Well, it's not going to move now. Alright, putting that to one side. I'm going to get my welder out. So what we are doing is we need, ooh, how much is it? Oh, can I even read that? 3 centimetres I think it is. Yeah, 3 centimetres. So because you put paper on these, they asked you to cover them in paper. You are going to bend it here, right there, and then you are going to go 3 centimetres in. There's my ruler gone. Didn't have that to hand. 3 centimetres in, and it's going to have another bend, I guess like this, and then this is going to run down the side here. So, and you want it pointing outwards because this will go on to this piece that I just did. And you just want to make sure that it's run like this, but you put this on first and then wait. So you can super glue it, you can just normal glue it. I like to weld my wiring in place if I can, so just make sure it's even at the top here. Then I'm gonna have to soon go and get this puppy out because I think she wants to go out. Wow, I thought I'd run out of Bondic for a second. I'm actually going to put this a little bit further in. Just trying to see. No, it does say on the edge. Just trying to see how this is going to sit on the back there. Yeah, it can go on the edge. I think it's just going to... I don't know. Well, it says on the edge. It just makes me... Well, it's not going to work now because I've been messing around with it. Bear with me, let me get this right. Okay, alright, I was right. We can go right to the edge. So, let me start again on that. Because the welding stuff doesn't last forever. Like I say, you can glue it. You don't have to do it this way. But if you do, I just use Bondic for mine. It's like a mini welder type thing, keeps everything in place. And this will go onto here once it's in the train. So that ceiling will actually be the next part that goes in. And I'm just going to put a string down the back here too. All I'm doing is welding it in spot. And the UV just dries it a bit quicker, I think, really. Or maybe there's a chemical reaction. I don't know. Didn't do very well on my sciences in school, so yeah, who knows. Alright, and that's ready. So now what we can do, my pup's playing. Oh, I'm gonna need to get another Bondic. This one's not running out, but it's not sealing very well. Okay, pop that to one side. And we will put this to one side, and first things first, we are going to put this on here. So it's going to go on top of the wall so it sticks onto this piece of paper as well. And let's just check that that's right. No, it's not. It's going to go lower, so it's going to go attached to it like this, and then this will come over to hide the top of this so it doesn't show. So let me get this super glued. So what we want is let's see, super glue along this edge. It's not super glue, it's wood glue along this edge, and just making sure I got this right, and yeah, along this edge. I'm just going to hold this in place for a moment or two just to make sure it doesn't move too much. My puppy's playing around, as you can hear. She's really telling that ball what for. She's got a little bit of energy right now. Need to take her out. I've told her once I've done this video for today, then I'd take her, but I might have to pause, take her, and make her happy. Also got to go to the store. I'm not overly looking forward to that, but it's got to be done. Right, so, and then what we're going to do is pop this side on as well. So this just goes literally on the end, but obviously you want your wire to be somewhat underneath. So it's going to, and that all came off, so good times. What I'm going to do then is put this on the front here. Probably just didn't put enough weld on it really. I am going to wrong edge and put this on here. I actually don't know. Yes, I think that's right. And along here, the bottom here too. And put this in. Try not to get my fingers all over the show. It's actually going to go on top of it all. So I had the right one on that edge in the first place, but it should still have enough on it. And then we will worry about doing that light afterwards. So I'm going to let this set up. And then we get that light in, get this stuck down, and start on the next bit. And we should be fine for today. And we'll probably, actually, while this is drying, before I do that light, not going to touch that light for now, I'm going to get on with the other piece which we will be doing, which is this other side. Unfortunately, they get you to put this on first, and what we're going to need is we're going to need this, and we're going to need that little table that we did, and quite simply they're going under here. So I have put people on. These two are sitting. This one I chopped the guy's legs off, and then had one sitting as well. Gonna have the guy with the orange, most colourful, on the bottom here. Alright, so what we need to do is, like I say, put these in. And they go with the legs towards it, not flush with the bottom down here. So I was going to do super glue, but I don't think I will. I think I'll just stick with the wood glue because it holds just that little bit better. And put it on here. And you want it with the legs towards the wall, purely for the fact of look where I put the glue. I am a plonker. That's all I'm going with. And then you want the table next to it with the computer facing this way. So I'm going to do that. And like I say, it's got to be somewhat in the air. You're not going to see where the feet are anyway. And put that like that at a certain height. Whoops. Stay there. I think this is going to have to go a little bit closer to the edge here. And that a little bit closer to them. Otherwise we're not going to fit it in. Just make sure it doesn't show at the bottom. And then this one will go in as well. And then I've got another person going to go in here, but I'll do that afterwards. He's legless, what can I say? And this one goes in here. And get it that the legs are under, if you can. If you do people, I wouldn't necessarily, it's certainly something you don't have to do. I just kind of think it makes it look a bit more realistic. Either that or it's a very empty train. Like I say, you're not going to see it anyway, really. But, oops. Stop it. I should stop touching it and just let it set up. And then I'm going to put that third person in. So I think that we will call it for today. So what we've done so far is we've put the little handrail in. That looks fine. Oh, actually, I'll tell you one thing I will do. I'll do that bondic for the lighting. So I'm going to, as I drop it, oh, come on, pups, move it back. There we go. And what we will do is we will weld it again because I like using it. Makes it feel good. And we are going to push this not quite at 90 degrees, something like that, and put it on here like so. So I'm going to turn this upside down and get some bondic on here first. You can glue it. It's probably easier than what I'm doing, really, especially with somebody with limited skills like me. Oh, let me get my tweezers, and it's going to go through. You can see it's going to go through the hole at the top there. Do I need the tweezers? Probably not. Just going to make sure it's into the corner as best I can. Gosh, I'm making such a mess of this. And with the bondic, you want to have enough surface area. So I'm going to push that in a little bit more. So it's like this. Not that you can see this, but I will show you in a sec. And just doing a couple of runs of the weld. And dry that. Probably almost easier to put it on like this anyway, where you know you're going to want it. And then, now you can see what I've done. So I just put some weld at the bottom here. I can show you with my little marker, just there. And now I'm going to weld it kind of so it's going through this hole down the bottom here. Okay. And again, weld it here, and I'll show you in a second. Just that I can need it facing me a bit for me to do this. And then we will call it for today, because all we have left of this piece to do is put on my little person that we have here, and put on that side, and then the actual main train part, just checking myself, will pretty much be done, because we don't have to do all this papery stuff. We do have to take care of the roof, and some little lights we're going to put on there, and a railing at the front, and bits of decorative stuff. So that's all I did, was I just welded it all the way down here. I'm going to let all that set up and this set up, and I will see you tomorrow for a continuation of the build. I do hope you're enjoying it. Please do remember to like and subscribe. Any questions, please, or comments, please leave on the video, or like I say, you could also send me an email at opallyhour@outlook.com. Couldn't remember where I was on my train of thought then. Anyway, most important, do take care of yourselves. You take care now. Bye bye.